What's up, everyone, and welcome back to a very special podcast episode. Today, I have my two childhood best friends, Ricky Chilson and Eddie Barch. Welcome to From the Lions Cove podcast. I'm your host, Marcelo, and yeah, I'm so excited to get into this podcast today. Shout out my guys.
Thank you for having us on.
Yep. Thanks, hello.
Seriously.
Yeah, thank you guys for being here. We had a crazy start to our morning. Usually, the spot where I film my podcast at didn't have access to it, so we had to readjust. And we have kind of the old basement setting where we used to hang out, play hoops, play Xbox. So overall, just great vibes all around. But yeah, thank you guys again.
Yep. Thank you for having us on.
So to start off this podcast, Eddie, how did you get the idea to create Meta Control? And what was the moment you knew it was worth turning it into a full game on the App Store? Eddie, you just dropped this game pretty recently as well.
Yep. Yeah, so, I've always liked programming since I was like a freshman year of high school. Been doing it for a while now. And mobile games is something I've been doing for a bit now, past couple of years. And I really have no experience in mobile games. So then the one programming language that I want to learn, I went in and I tried just experimenting with it. And I didn't really have any app ideas to make. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to try making a game. And my dad had actually just introduced me to a game called Stratego, which Meta Control is kind of based off of that game, Stratego and chess, but with like a superpowered twist.
Yeah.
And so I decided to start working on that. And when I was working on it, I actually really enjoyed it as I was going. And I decided, you know what? Why not just give it a shot? Just put it out there and see what happens. Because even if nothing happens, which very well nothing might happen, that's fine because I still enjoy making it and I still enjoy working on it. So, yeah.
Wow, great. And also, you've had a ton of experience prior to creating this app. You created the CSS website back in 2023, which was awesome. We were able to input stats, numbers, and it actually created like an output where it had like offensive efficiency, defensive player ratings, and everything. So you've kind of had a lot of experience throughout your time creating, I guess, software and different kind of platforms. So I'm sure that helped when it went into the game.
Yeah, my experience in co-op and all that stuff too, that all helped. So
great.
And
so
if I might add, go on the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store and go download Meta Control.
Yep.
It's worth it.
Meta Control.
Yeah, so overall, how
Shameless plug.
Yeah.
yeah, so overall, how has the app been doing so far?
It's been all right. I have about like 40 downloads, most of them being friends and family. I have a couple random people, which is good. I'd say I have like 4 people playing every single day consistently. Not too much, but again, I literally just released it a couple days ago, so I don't expect too much yet.
Yeah, and that's obviously a fantastic output.
Yeah.
I mean, you already have 40 downloads, and you've been posting on TikTok as well as Instagram, correct?
Yep, just started recently. YouTube too. Just started recently doing that. Yep.
So see, it's only going to get larger and larger from there. But moving on to Ricky. Ricky, what motivated you to pursue a career in law enforcement, and what has the experience taught you so far?
So I've always been interested in it. Originally, when I was going to go to college, I was going to be like an engineer with Nick and all them, but decided that was probably above my brain grade. So got into criminal justice, liked what I was doing there. Was thinking about going more like the federal route, FBI, CIA, something like that, but those are really hard to get into with just a degree. You need experience. So I actually ended up doing an internship at Highland Heights, where we live, where we all been to drive through every day. And that's what really opened my eyes to like, wow, there's more to law enforcement than I thought there was. Right. So I'm seeing every day how the guys interact with the community, the day to day. Highland Heights has their own jail. So I got to see how prisoner swaps and having the prisoner, getting them food, seeing the full process of, tracking a guy down, arresting him, housing him, sending him to court, just seeing that whole process go. Like I just fell in love with it. So I did that last year at BW, and then that's when Lakewood came and spoke, and they said that they were accepting 1 to 2 applicants. So I applied right then and there, and the rest is history. Everything went through smoothly with that. So
wow.
I'm at now.
So you had to go through the police, I guess, academy or like
Correct.
classes, correct?
Yep. 6 months.
So how did that, I guess, relate to school? Because like with your degree, does that translate into the academy, or how does that process work?
It translates a little bit, like from the report writing aspect. It helped out a lot. Me being able to put a decently well paper together, with details of what I did, stuff like that. from a studying standpoint, it helped a little bit, although a lot of this, stuff we were testing on in the academy isn't like rocket science, right? Some of the concepts are hard and you got to study them of certain things that they want you to know, but, in general, it wasn't too bad. But it probably mostly helped from the standpoint of sitting in a classroom for 8 hours a day, 9 hours, being able to stay focused, take good notes, know what I need to know. Like, this doesn't sound like it's going to be good on on the test. This sounds like it might be on the test. Taking the test, like being able to just deduce answers just based off my experience, like, how one answer you definitely could just knock off, another one's questionable, and then I'm left with two. So I'm 50-50 on multiple choice questions. So I'd say it didn't help a lot anywhere, but it helped some places decent amount.
Yeah.
It definitely had some translation.
Yeah, and I'm sure with your internship experience, I'm sure that was a large help.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no, that was that and ride-alongs I did with agencies. It was pretty big. A lot of the cadets that had previous law enforcement experience, one was an auxiliary at the time, they were able to piece together some things because they could relate it to real world experiences they've already had. But it definitely did help, though.
Wow, great. Eddie and Ricky, you guys are both doing great. I'm so proud of you both, seriously. So, most importantly, though, this all started and ties all the way back to football and when we were kids. So, how did your love for football first begin, and why do you think that shared passion became the foundation for your guys' friendship early on?
For me, it was, my dad kind of threw me into it. He always played football. When you're a kid, you're not really playing a sport because you like the sport. You're kind of just doing it just because your parents signed you up. But it turned out to be, a sport that I really enjoyed. I enjoyed the sport. I enjoyed, the team aspect, obviously making friends like Eddie. I went to Millridge, so obviously I only knew you guys through sports, right? So I had completely different friend group from school to after school at sports. So there's some overlap, but the main friend group we have now was separate from me. So it definitely introduced me to a lot of people, a lot of lifetime friends that I'm going to be friends with until I'm 6 feet under. But I would say that it was probably the best decision my dad's ever made, put me in football.
Yep. Yeah, I completely agree. That's how a lot of the connections were made, honestly, were football and sports in general. Like without football, I would have had no idea who Ricky even was.
You would have found out.
At that point, I wouldn't have honestly met him until middle school. So yeah, was a great connection for all of us. And yeah, like he said, my dad kind of just threw me in. I was 8 years old. On the Gold Cats, we actually won the championship that year. Great year.
All right.
Yeah, I wasn't in the league.
It was a great season.
I came when
he started late.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun. And sports in general, just huge connection. Basketball, yeah.
Yeah, we had fantastic travel basketball games and like
shout out Frank the Tank.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had the best time. We had the best team, and overall, those times were just great. And I also played football too from the 3rd grade to the 6th grade, so I was able to play with you guys. Like looking back on it, I wish I would have played in high school a little bit, just because our whole friend group literally played. I was the only one in the stands, but it also gave like a different perspective because going to your guys' games, like it was so fun for me just to be in the stands and like watch you guys perform and play so well. So yeah, that was just a great time and a great thing to be a part of, and seeing it from like the outside. But yeah, football is definitely, I would say, a big part of our friend group. I feel like most of our friends, considering we all went to Lander, like we all played sports together. Ricky, you being from the outside, Nick also being from the outside. The game of football really brought us together as a large group. And even though we were in the same community, we didn't really know each other because we were from certain areas and certain communities. But in the end, it just brought us all together, which I think is key.
It's funny because the street that my parents live on, Minor Road, my side, the west side of the street goes to Millridge. The east side goes to Center. It's like I had neighbors' kids across the street that I would play with at home, but like we didn't go to the same school, even though we live 40 feet from each other. So yeah, it is cool how sports, the youth sports shapes, brings all the kids, the community together into one spot, which obviously helps.
Yeah, so true. So when you look back on high school, how did playing on such successful teams shape you, not just as athletes, but as people? And why did those years matter so much during your guys' recruiting process?
Yeah, I think just being on winning teams throughout our entire career, for the most part, just helps us not be complacent with being like average. whether in sports or just in life. You always want to succeed and just be better every day, and like finish what you started. You don't want to just do something like, all right, well, I'll just do this because I gotta do it. You want to actually like achieve it, and succeed and excel.
I think to me it was a good way to look at it, like almost like a how-to. You get in, you get out what you put in.
Yep.
We were on all these great teams, but we weren't on these great teams for no reason. We had upperclassmen when we were freshmen putting in the work, and now we're looking at them.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, it just becomes second nature. We're putting in all this extra overtime hours in the gym and stuff, and that's just our normal. And it translates on the field. And now we have 10-0 teams. We only lost our senior year to state champs, and that was COVID, so that doesn't really count.
Yep.
But it becomes the new normal when you're seeing, the people you look up to, the upperclassmen doing it, the next class does it. That just gets ingrained in the culture of the team. Now everybody's doing it. It trickles down to 8th grade, 7th grade. You have those great coaches. Shout out Coach Stevens.
Yep.
But that trickles down even into youth,
Yep.
right? So I think it's good to see. I think it's just good to see that what you put into something is what you can get out of something.
Yeah, true. So then what was the recruiting process like for you both, especially during COVID? I know COVID definitely played a role in that, but overall, what were like your thoughts and like your mindset behind it?
Yeah, COVID was hard because it was kind of hard to visit a lot of places. With COVID, you're just not able to go out and actually like physically visit. There's a lot of phone calls or even like Zooms. So it was hard to actually get an understanding of what a campus was like, or even like a program. You can't go in and like visit it on a lift or something like that. But overall, it was still fine. I was able to kind of understand what I knew, what I wanted to look for. I wanted a good, solid program as well as with a good school, and good academics. And I think BW was a good place for that. So,
yeah, for me, it was pretty straightforward. I only visited 2 schools, Mercyhurst and then BW. I think by the time, I don't know the exact timeline, but I think by the time I visited BW, you might already been at least heavily leaning towards that at that point. So when I got the offer, I mean, personally, I was ready to be done with football after high school. It was kind of just like everything just happened for a reason. I got the offer at BW. He was already looking at going to BW. It kind of just worked out that way, that's just what we're doing. It was kind of the path of least resistance, but it seemed like everything lined up for that to happen. So that's what I went with right away. But for me, it was pretty quick. Only a couple camps that I went to, and then one visit before BW. And for me, it wasn't too. COVID didn't really change too much. It was pretty straightforward.
Yeah. I think I had like 4 or 5 planned visits and only ended up going on like 2 because of COVID. So, but
yeah, I remember.
Big time.
Yeah. I think one was a Cincy, right?
Well, yeah, that was my sophomore year and my junior year. I kind of when I visited a game, I got to see the players warm up on the field. I got to talk to some coaches. That was really cool, actually, for the Cincinnati game. Yep.
Wow. And then what was like the D2 process like? Was that kind of like a similar experience, Rick?
BW was D3.
D3, but yeah.
But it was it's still different. They say it's kind of the same until you're at like D1, but it was different because you go from, the best kids on your high school team are the ones that are going to go play in college. But when you get there, you're back to the bottom of the totem pole. Even if you were great, you're now average.
And that's even in D3.
Yeah, it's right around that puberty time too, where you're in high school and you're a senior, you think you're all that, and now you're playing against, we had, what was it, super seniors that were on their 6th or 7th year.
Yeah.
These are 23-year-old dudes.
I mean, these are
you're 18.
grown men.
You're playing against grown men at that point. So.
And they were the best on their teams. Like D3 is good.
Yeah, the only thing that was the biggest difference was the fact that it flips your academics and your school and your football to sports. Where in high school you're at 8 hours of school, like 3 hours of football after school. Now it's 8 hours of football. All throughout the day with classes sprinkled in between.
And then school. Yep.
So it kind of flips the script on you, which is why I ultimately was, done with the sport after freshman year. I don't know if you want to go into that now or whatever, but I know it's similar for him, but it's pretty different. The game's always the same. I mean, obviously it's more advanced as you get to more advanced levels, but the aspects, the same aspects of the sport run true throughout the whole thing. Football's football,
Yeah, true. So starting off with Eddie, with your success at Mayfield, earning multiple all-conference honors, defensive MVP, and excelling academically. What ultimately made your decision attending BW feel like the right place to continue both your football career and your education?
Yeah. Like I said before, BW is a great football program and school. I think consistently have had a winning record for as far as I know, the past at least like decade. And their academic program was also really good. I went in for computer science, and they have a great program there. Overall, the whole thing was I wanted to go to a school where I could play football, it could develop me as a player, and have a winning record with good academics. So that's why I chose BW.
Great. And then Rick, how did being a multi-sport athlete and scholar athlete influence your college decision, and why did BW stand out as the place to grow?
I mean, like I said, BW, they gave me the offer. My best friend for, at that point, over 10 years was going there. He had his football offer on mine. We'd be rooming together, right? So all those reasons, it's like a no-brainer. Why would you not go? But then, I don't know if you want to get what the next few questions are, but it was basically just, it's a great school. You went to John Carroll. They're 1A, 1B. They're, the same size, stature, everything like that. So it's, it was kind of just all around a great deal. There was no...
It's close to home, too.
Yeah, there was no holes to poke in that deal, really. It was pretty, picture perfect as it's going to get.
Yeah. Yeah, so how was living on the west side of Cleveland compared to the east side? Because obviously we are so used to living here on the east side. What was living over like near like the airport, that kind of area like?
It's different. I obviously was there for a little longer than Eddie. I rented a house there for 2 years. I'm moving back there on the 30th of December.
Nice, Rick.
So I'll be back over there. I'm working at Lakewood, which is the west side. It's different.
You're a west side man now.
When you're driving down the shoreway, there's that invisible wall, and you feel it. It's a little different, but it's really not all that bad. I mean, BW is only like 35 minutes away, 40 maybe. It still feels, you're close enough to home. It still feels like home, where you just got to get on the highway instead of the back roads to get there. It's pretty similar. There's really no big takeaways I could say, like, the west side's, definitely more like this than the east side. I mean, a little less snow, which I don't like. I like more snow. But it's pretty all around similar.
Wow.
It's not, too different. There's nothing coming to my mind right now that's like, oh, right away I noticed this on the west side versus the east side, but I don't know if you got anything to add to that.
Pretty much covered it. You had more experience than me.
Yeah. So then what influenced your guys' decisions overall to stop playing the game of football, a game that you guys have loved so much for years? I know when your time comes to an end playing a sport, it is hard and it is a difficult decision because that almost becomes your identity for so long. So what was that experience like, and how did you feel throughout that process?
You said it best yourself. Love. Ran out of love for the game.
Yeah.
It turned into more of a job than me playing a sport just to go out there and have fun. Now I'm out there, I don't want to necessarily say competing because that's a part of the sport, but I'm out there and I'm just not having fun, essentially. And we were both feeling that the same. It just turns into a job. Like I said, they flip the script on you. You're doing film in the morning, then you have school, then you have practice and study hall, and then that's just Monday. And that doesn't count the two-a-days, the camp, the workouts, everything like that. So it really was just, love for the game ran out quick. Like I said, personally, I was ready after senior year of high school to be done. Like, I felt the love slipping away, but like I said, it was just such a great, best friends going there. I'd probably go there for school anyways. It kind of just all worked out. So I was like, why not give it a shot? I'm not going to turn down that offer. It was picture perfect, but I think for me, like, week 2, 3, not even maybe a month and a half into the season, I was done. Mentally I was checked out. I'm there. I'm showing face. I went through the whole season in the off season. That's why I let the head coach know that I was going to be hanging it up. But by week 2 or 3, I was already just showing face, doing what I had to do to get by because I was done. My grades were slipping. I had like a 1.2 after the first semester, a 2.4 the second semester. So like I wasn't
chemistry.
Failed my first ever class, chemistry. If you can't see it, I don't worry about it. That's what I said. That's my motivational quote right there. If you can't see it, don't worry about it. But converting the moles and stuff, I mean, I don't even know what that is. But
yeah.
But what's it called? Where was I at? What you distracted me? Chemistry just gets me, man. Gets me.
Hey, I mean, we all took chem in high school. That was pretty tough, even in high school.
the worst part is
He didn't do very good in
my
high school.
chemistry. We were both in chemistry at the same time, but his professor was so much easier.
Is it the professor?
We had
the professor was a
Mr.
huge deal. No, I'm saying in college.
Oh, in college.
He was taking
Is it
chemistry
the
the same
teacher or is it
semester
the
I did.
student?
It was the teacher.
I had an A. He failed it.
If you had a question that had 5 parts to it, I had to do all 5. His professor would cut them off at 3. So he would look at my stuff and after 3 be like, "Oh, I don't know. You know for a fact that's how it is." I'm only saying it because that's what you told me that. You go after step 3. I don't know. We didn't do that.
That is so awesome.
Back to football.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm a little different from Rick. Coming from high school into college, I did want to play football. And actually quitting football was one of the hardest decisions of my life.
For sure.
I remember we talked about it for like weeks, like discussing it
There were
between us.
midnight to 3 a.m.
I mean, we would just talk about
it's-
pros and cons, why we want to stay, why we don't.
where to go from there.
Yeah, where to go from there, like our futures in college, all that. It was definitely one of the hardest decisions. And overall, like Rick said, my love of the game was just slipping. And I love football coming into college. It became more of a job than an actual, like, me playing because I want to play. I like to play. I just felt like, I don't know. I lost the love, and it was like 24/7, football this, football that. And yeah, I don't know, lost the love. So
It turns it into being an athlete first, student second, whereas in high school, it's your student athlete. It flips it on you, and for me, that just wasn't what I like you didn't know that that's what you didn't want.
Yeah.
And then when it happens, then you figure out real quick, like, this isn't what I want. So.
Things change. I don't know.
Yeah.
I really love football, and then it kind of just stopped. It just went away. I don't know.
Because it was relatively early on in the season for you too, where it wasn't.
I would say for me it was more mid-season.
Yeah.
But then as the season dragged on, it got worse and worse.
Yeah, and I mean, I can definitely relate in like a certain scenario. Like high school was definitely tough with certain coaches and certain times that I kind of went through in high school. I almost kind of lost love for the game. I did want to play in college, but just like the feeling I had for the game just wasn't there anymore. But I think with the CSS and the transition to the 3-on-3 league, I feel like that almost made my love for the game even stronger.
You really get something more out of it, yeah.
Yeah, because for example, like I got to play with all my best friends, like my childhood best friends, like both of you guys and like 30 others, and just doing it for like a good cause. I feel like that was almost something that like brought my love for the game back, like that we were all doing this together, that we were all together, that like making memories. Like for example, I feel like if I would have played in college, I feel like it would have been fun, but maybe I would have had the same result. Hey, maybe I would have been losing love for the game because of just certain aspects or certain coaches or certain things going on. But I feel like with the league, like it almost makes that love even stronger because we're so excited when that time of year comes around. It's like the summer. We're like, hey, it's like basketball season. Like we've been doing this for 5 years, so every summer there was always something to like look forward to, and I feel like that's just the main thing of how it almost brought my love back, because I feel like if we didn't have this, it almost the love wouldn't be there anymore for the sport that we've been playing since we were kids.
That kind of brings us back to sports bringing people together too, because like a lot of those guys, like I don't see them for most of the year until that time when you bring everyone together, come play some games. And I see a lot of guys that I just haven't really talked to a lot, and it's really nice.
You don't realize when you start playing those sports early on that really it's more about the people you're playing with than it is the sport itself.
Yeah.
So when you in high school, same thing throughout middle school, high school. So you don't realize when you get to college, now it's all brand new faces. You're the new guy on the block, and it takes that. There's something about it you don't realize that was ever there because it always was there until it's gone.
Yeah.
But so it's kind of it's more about the people you're playing with sometimes than it is about the sport.
I think that was a big difference between high school and college too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not that I didn't like the people in college. It's just like I'm like best friends with the people in high school. That like when I'm going to practice in high school, it's like I'm hanging out with all my best friends.
You might be driving with your best friend. Shout out to me.
Yeah, he would drive me there and back, but I couldn't drive at that point. So
shout out to Nick.
Yeah,
good job, Nick.
Nick Dell.
Yeah,
we got him.
But yeah, it's just different. So
yeah, I mean it is, and that's what makes like the league so special, is because like we're all best friends and like we're all like in this together. Like seriously, I feel like that's why people like want to play and want to be there, because at the end of the day, you're going to see people that you haven't seen in years. You're going to see people that you may not ever see again. Yeah. So overall, I think that's just what makes the game of even basketball, football, just sports in general. I think that's what makes it so special.
The big thing I think too that influenced our decision to stop playing is when we got there, we made, you have the football team as a whole and you're friends with everybody, but we were in like a little bit of a clique with maybe like 10 or so guys. Went to Myrtle Beach. I lost half my face. Story for another podcast. A lot of those guys, when you're at a D3 college like that, a lot of people hop and skip around. Like you're not, when you're playing with like our childhood friends group and stuff like that, next year Eddie's gonna be on the team next year. Nick's gonna be on the team. Marcelo's gonna be on the team. Like it's all you're playing through your senior year. But in college, you have guys skipping around. You might be real close with one guy, and then he transfers.
He's gone. Yep.
Or the next year he's gone, or he doesn't want to be on the team anymore. So it's almost harder to then make those connections because people are just coming and leaving, way faster than high school. High school you might get one new guy from a different district or two that plays that sport or something. Maybe I can't even think of any off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But the same thing with leaving. But maybe Chimobi was like the only one.
Yeah.
But, so I think a lot of it's that personal connection with the people you're playing with, especially those team sports, right? If you're playing bowling, you're by yourself, that's not really a factor. But when you're playing basketball, football, any baseball, team sport, the team aspect,
the connection,
the team aspect, the connection to the team is what's big. And you don't realize that until you're losing that connection and you realize that it was there the whole time. And that's what you were really clinging to with the sport.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like most people realize that once their playing career's over. Like you kind of look back and you look through all the photos and all the memories and you're like, dang, like it was really about the people that I was with. That's what made it so special.
Yeah. You almost don't even look for yourself in the photos. You look for who else was in the photo.
Like, oh my God, you see him? You see him? Yeah.
Yeah, even like our old travel basketball pictures. Like I was going through those like last month and I was like, wow.
Corey had a shaved head.
Yeah, Corey had a shaved head. Yeah, and then even like
believe that.
Yeah, and we all went to like Cavs games together. And we won like the championship together.
Anderson Verja put his hands on my shoulders.
Wow,
dude!
I felt something on my back.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, we had hands down like the best times. But transitioning to life after sports, you guys have been consistent working out for years. You guys have hands down been the hardest workers I know in that aspect. You guys seriously commit yourself to the grind, to the gym every single day, and I give you guys so much respect for doing that. So what keeps you motivated to stay disciplined even though you may not have enough energy or motivation on certain days?
Circling it back to football introduced me and him to the weight room. That's ultimately another big piece of what killed it for me, is I fell way more in love with the weight room than I did the football field. I liked the workouts and I hated going out and practicing. I wish we would just be in the weight room the whole time. So for me, that's just my love almost shifted, from sports and football to weightlifting for me. So ever since he was 7th grade spa camp with Pinto Jr., right, teaching it, ever since then, I've just always looked forward to it. I love it. I think it's great. I think it's great for anybody listening to get into the gym, make yourself better. Right, those 45-pound plates always weigh 45 pounds. No matter if it's a good day, bad day, girlfriend broke up with you, don't matter. It's 45 pounds. Lift it,
Yep.
So I like how it's kind of cold-hearted in that aspect, but it's also personal progression, seeing the weights go up, bettering yourself.
Yep.
Even if it's cardio-based stuff, weight-based stuff, doesn't matter. I think it's probably one of the best things that someone could do for bettering themselves. Yep. Long-term, short-term, doesn't matter.
Keeps them consistent too. Every day you're going in, you're working out, doing what you need to do. It also translates to the rest of your life, going in, doing your work at your job or your school, whatever you're doing, your sport, whatever you're doing. It translates directly to that, as well as just keeping you healthy, making you stronger, better every day. Another part of it too is when I'm home, I work out with Rick, and I just enjoy just hanging out with Rick. That's our hangout time. We just go to the gym, work out,
he talks to me.
Mess around. Me? I don't know about that.
6-minute rest period this morning.
Wait,
what?
No. 3 minutes is optimal, and I get around.
So you
3 minutes.
doubled it.
No. All right, one set because he was arguing with me, and it's his fault. All right. So that's some of the best parts of the gym, just messing around.
This is what happens in between sets.
Yeah.
Well, also too, you guys are best friends. This is like bound to happen.
Well, yeah.
So then, what foods do you guys eat on a daily basis that help with the gains, help with the muscles? What foods would you provide to our audience?
Protein.
What kinds of
We're gonna have different answers on this.
We actually are different.
We take different routes.
Yeah.
On each other, but
I go lots and lots of protein. Chicken, beef, me and my brother Joe Barch. Shout out Joe Barch Fit.
Yes, sir.
Go subscribe, like, and subscribe.
Yep,
Post notifications on.
Yep.
Post every Wednesday, set of the week.
Yep. YouTube, TikTok, I think
Download
Instagram, all of it.
Metacontrol on the App
Metacontrol.
Store, Google Play, Android.
Back to my point. What was I saying? Beef, rice, cheese, lettuce, eggs. Literally, we've been doing that at least 4 times a week. It's really good. Get your carbs in, get your protein. I personally drink 3 protein shakes a day. That might be a little much. You don't need to do all that. But I would say chicken and beef, just get your protein in, as well as a little bit of carbs, need your energy. So
Nice.
We agree on the protein part. How we get the proteins a little bit different, right? I'm kind of more of a proponent on eat whatever the fuck you want to eat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yours.
But-
Yeah, I was just say yours is
Yeah.
But
crazy.
just
Rick.
keep it controlled. You know, like I still eat chocolate, sweets after every day.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
right? But it's for me, it's more about just don't eat the whole bag. Eat half.
yeah.
You know? Just keep it under control. But I'm with him. I mean, when you get down to the numbers of it, you know, he drinks 3 protein shakes. I probably drink 2 on average, but we both are around that 100 just from the shakes. That's my big rule. I try to get 100 grams, but just in my protein shakes. Anything else I eat is extra.
Mm-hmm.
If I have a salad, which never happens,
Yeah,
like pizza
I don't
or
know
something,
the last time I had a salad. But
I don't. It's probably middle
I don't
school.
know.
But you know, if I get 0 grams of protein from my food that day, then that's fine. My baseline's always 100
Yeah.
with those protein shakes. But yeah, for me, I eat whatever I want, whatever's available. I just don't go too crazy with it. I monitor my weight. I monitor my physique, how it's looking.
Yep.
Right. So I'm more of a proponent of, at least it makes me have more fun in the gym. I've always been a bigger kid, just staying bigger, slowly turning my fat into muscle at a certain weight. I was, you know, 250 for a couple of years, 240 for a couple of years before that. Just staying at that same weight and just slowly transitioning everything over rather than the whole cut bulk thing, cut bulk.
Mm-hmm.
Right. He got addicted to the cut part.
That is, we're a little different.
And, yeah, we're a little bit
He's
different
more
with
the
that.
bigger,
Yeah, we actually did split
jacked.
perfectly.
I'm
right
more
there,
like
yeah, too.
lean and cut. I got 6-pack.
Yeah.
Hey, bring back Mohawk Rick, man. Bring back Mohawk Rick.
Go
Man.
ahead.
With the
Back in
Reebok
the
shoes,
day.
baby.
Yeah, but Rick, I remember on Xbox, man, we would always eat food on Xbox. But Rick,
Peanut butter.
I think you had probably some of the craziest stories. You would probably drink a gallon of milk on Xbox,
Peanut butter and milk.
eat it, and just pound peanut butter.
That was
Our
our senior
coach-
year before. Or
Our
was it junior
coach
year?
in high school, going from our junior to senior
Yeah.
year season, I was 200 pounds, give or take, right? Super scrawny, never going to weigh that again. But he was like, all right, I want you to be 220 for the next season. So I was like, all right, no problem. So I would go to Costco and get these big peanut butter jugs, like they're probably like a liter of peanut butter, and they come in 2-packs. So then when we were playing Xbox tonight, I'm just eating with a spoon straight peanut butter while we're playing Xbox. Right, it was when Warzone was
Call
big.
of Duty Warzone.
Call of Duty.
Hey guys, I'm landing lumber.
Yeah, I'm dead. I'm dead already. I'm lost in the gulag. Just eating peanut butter. I had
Yep.
2% milk to wash it down, and
Mhm.
it was these big like souvenir glasses I got from a Cavs game.
Yeah.
I like those big ass ones. And I'd fill that to the top with 2% milk, and my thing was I wouldn't stop eating the peanut butter until I'm out of milk. So I would take
Eat
a
half the jar.
couple bites, and then I would drink milk and take a couple bites, and I would just keep going until I'm out of milk, and then that was when I was like, all right, I'm done. But I probably put on the 20 pounds in 3 weeks or so, give or take, and he was aiming more for next season, 3 weeks from now. But I put the weight on. It wasn't all terrible weight either. You know, it's still a high protein food. I'm
Peanut
still
butter. It's good. That's a good bulking food.
I'm still
Healthy
working out
fats.
during that time. Like I said, like, I'm still working out, making sure I'm getting my protein and everything like that. So I kind of just eat whatever I need to eat to monitor my weight, whatever, you know. I'm not someone when we go out to dinner somewhere, I'm going to be like, I can't eat there because they don't have,
No, yeah.
you know, meat with rice
Yeah,
that I
do
can
that.
get. You know, I would go to Taco Bell and just eat it.
Yeah.
Or we had McDonald's for lunch.
Yeah, I think we're both the same in that aspect.
You know?
That like we'll go out and we'll eat stuff.
I had a quarter pounder for lunch.
Yeah, it's not like
Nice.
we don't eat bad. That's
Yep.
for sure.
Yeah.
But for me, it's more fun for me to just live my life like normal, and this just working out only adds to it. I don't like cutting
Yeah.
too much out of my personal life for the gym. I just like the gym adding to my personal life.
I mean, last night I was sitting on the couch eating Oreos, watching Jake Paul fight. He was.
Yeah,
I was eating Buckeyes.
He was eating Buckeyes. So
Totally
Yeah.
not planned.
yeah.
Yeah, no, that
just with 2% milk. And when the milk was done, I stopped eating the buckets.
See, that's also like one of the pros of, I would say, being of my stature, I eat literally anything that's in the way, and I don't gain weight, which also can kind of hurt me sometimes. But over the past few years, I've seen like recent gains, which has been good. But overall, I would say I'm very thankful that I have you both as my like bodyguards as well as best friends.
Yep.
So I know if anything happens, I always have you guys. So as life has taken us through different stages, from kids in the same friend group to teammates to adulthood, how has growing up together shaped who you are today, and why has that bond mattered through change?
Yeah, I mean, I've known you since like kindergarten. I've known Rick since
3rd grade.
Yeah, 3rd grade football. Became really good friends in like middle school. Study hall, Miss Streitman. But
two kids in the entire class.
literally, it was really just us two. We played Madden Mobile, a bunch of other games. We were shooting rubber bands.
The drawing one where you had to draw something.
Drawing, yep. But yeah, I mean, starting elementary school, youth sports, into middle school, and then up into high school in sports, all that, and then eventually into college, where we didn't see each other as much. We were roommates. We saw each other every day. You're graduated. I'm about to graduate. It's crazy.
Good job, man. Good job.
Yeah,
Right. Let's go.
Right.
I'll be there. I'll be there soon.
Yeah, soon,
So it's working on it.
But yeah, I mean, now he's moving to the west side. You're gonna get a job. I mean, it's crazy. So,
Yeah, it is.
What
Rick?
was the question? I forgot.
It was
growing up.
Yeah.
No
How
judgment.
has growing up shaped who you are today?
Oh, it was great. I mean, I bet you half of my personality is half of his personality, and it's
That is true. We've been together.
Just
so
at the
long.
gym today, there were like 3 moments where I said something, and he's like, "Dude, I was just
I was
about to say
about to
that,"
say
or
that,
"I was
yeah.
just about to," it's. I mean, I think we're probably way more alike than we even would like to realize in certain places too. But it was probably huge, especially because, we weren't necessarily like bad kids. We were always good kids. Like, I feel like we helped each other grow in that aspect, I feel like if you're friends with someone, good, it makes you better. If you're friends with someone not so good, it makes you worse.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like from that aspect, just the whole friend group in general, that was a good thing we had going for us for sure. But yeah, we're probably more alike than we think. But it was definitely a huge help for sure.
Yeah, and too, like I would say our friend group we were always good kids.
Yep.
Great families. Overall, like we always had a blast together, and I feel like that's definitely something that shaped our childhood and made it so special. Like we look back, we see old photos, old memories, like even just like stories of when we all went to Put-in-Bay, like the campground. We have endless
all those memories,
memories
still
together.
Going.
Stories. Also.
Yeah.
Still going.
Yep.
Yeah, still going. So we're having just a great time, and I would say just keeping that bond forever. Like like for example, we're always trying to plan certain days or times like to do things.
I want to be 40 going to Put-in-Bay hanging out. This would be great.
I might die there.
Yeah.
I'm 85. Hey,
Yeah,
the old men there.
one too many games, man.
Yeah.
So overall, how would you both encourage someone who's still chasing their dreams to keep going, even though results may have not shown up yet? They still feel unnoticed, unseen, and they're putting out all this time and effort. What do you have to say to that person?
I'd say just wait till tomorrow to quit.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow wait till the next day to quit.
Yeah.
And just keep waiting till the next day. If you just keep convincing yourself to wait till the next day to quit, you can do anything. And I heard that from a Navy SEAL in Hell Week. It's just make it to your next dinner. Make it to the next day. Quit tomorrow. Convince yourself to quit tomorrow, and then when tomorrow comes, convince yourself to quit the next day. Just go through life like that. Anything that sucks, anything you don't want to do, working out, school, anything like that, just quit tomorrow. And tomorrow, quit the next day. Quit next week. Convince yourself a whole week, I'll quit next week. And just keep that momentum going. Eventually, it just becomes second nature. It's just part of your life. Right? For me, working out is a part of my life. Even on designated off days, like, they recommend you should only work out, 5-6 times a week, something like that. That 7th day that I'm purposely taking off the rest just feels weird.
You get so used to it.
Yeah, why am I not in the gym right now? That extra hour, 2 hours of free time, what am I doing? I should be at the gym.
Yep.
But it just becomes habit, I always fell in love with the gym right away. I don't think there was ever that time where I was like, just quit tomorrow. Maybe more with like BW football. Like, we both didn't quit until, or parted ways, I like to say. If you quit in the middle of the season, that's quitting.
Yeah, we did.
The end of the season, in between, that's you part ways with the sport.
We finished the season.
We parted. We retired.
Yeah.
So then, like with that, it's just all right. I'll just get through today. Tomorrow will be rough, but let's just get to tomorrow. Get to the next day. Get to the weekend. The games, we both agreed the games were fun.
Yeah.
I like still playing
Even
in the
parts of
games,
practice.
the
I like
JV
a lot of
games,
practice,
some
but-
parts of practice, but the monotonous study halls and stuff like
Yeah,
that. It's just
the extra workouts, study halls,
it gets it tomorrow.
film,
Yeah.
all that.
There's no study hall tomorrow. Just get there.
Walkthroughs.
You know, the weekend's coming up. Just get there and just
Mm-hmm.
eventually it comes second nature. Second nature. It's part of your habit. It's just what you do at that point, and then eventually you don't have to keep telling yourself, "Wait till tomorrow." It's just you just do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you think something's worth it, then go out and do it. And don't let anything stop you. Because like if it doesn't work out, okay, so what? You thought it was worth it. If you enjoy doing it, then go and do it. If it's something that like football, for example, if you really lose your love, then okay, that's something you maybe stop. But if you have a dream that you want to chase and you think it's achievable and you really want to do this, then go out and do it. If it doesn't work, then who cares? But at least you tried and you really want to go do it. So I think it's worth it.
Yeah.
Yep.
That is fantastic advice right there. And then what's one quote that you live by every day?
I don't know if I necessarily have one that I live by every day. I'm more, you know, there's so many quotes out there nowadays. You see one every single day, and you're like, "Oh, that's a good quote." But I don't know if there's one that's like, you know how I don't know if I have one where it's like every day I wake up like Joe Barch, and it's like this is my quote right here.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, there's a couple I've had like, "Do what you love, and the money will come" was a big one that I heard. Where, you know, that one kind of speaks for itself. Just do what you love. The money's not. It's better to do something that you love and make less money than do something you hate and make more money, right? But that's just one I can think of off the top of my head. But I'm not. I mean, I'm big in the quotes and stuff, but you see so many nowadays, and so many of them are good, to where it's I kind of just hop from one to the next. I don't know if I have one that sticks with me every single day. You know.
Another one that I thought of, I forget where it's from, but it's like always go with your passions, even if they're realistic or not. So that's kind of what I was talking about before. If you really want to go do something and try something, just try it. Who cares? Because if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. It's not the end of the world. At least you tried, and at least there's a chance that something might blow up, like Might Control. Who knows? It might blow up. If it doesn't, then who cares? But at least go out, at least try, give it your best.
He Googled that before we came here.
I did. No, I knew there was a quote like that. I just needed to find it.
Yeah, so true. Well, Eddie and Ricky, is there anything that you would like to say to the audience? Any last or final words?
Shout out the debating scums. Shout out Grace, love you. I don't know, you're probably not gonna watch this, but shout out Heidi Barch, legend.
Yeah.
Got me some Christmas
Legend.
gifts this year.
Yep.
Good shirt. I should wear the shirt here.
Yeah, come
Absolute legend. She should have came. Yep. Download Meta Control.
Yep.
Google
Follow
Play Store, App Store.
Joe Barch Fit.
Joe Barch Fat parody account. Nick Dell, shout out.
Yep.
Great, guys.
Doing good.
Well, that'll do it for this podcast. Ricky and Eddie, thank you so much for being here. Just seeing your guys' journey throughout sports, throughout life overall, it's been great. I'm so blessed to call you guys my best friends at the end of the day.
Yep.
Just growing up from we were kids to now, I'm so proud of us as a group and how we always just stick together throughout thick and thin. So I truly love you guys, and I truly appreciate you guys for everything that you guys have brought into my life.
You make me cry. Love you too, Zara.
Yeah, you
Thanks
guys-
for having us.
Yeah, well, that'll do it. Make sure you like, comment, sub, share with friends and family, and use code LIONSCOVE at checkout. That'll do it. We'll see you guys later. Peace.